Hello makers, welcome to Always Yarn First, a podcast about knitting, crochet, spinning, and all the yarny goodness in between. I'm Lindsey and I'm coming to you from Little Rock, Arkansas. As always, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Always Yarn First. Before we get into it, I'd like to do a little admin. A couple of the make-alongs I am co-hosting. The first one is... Sorry, y'all. I'm finishing up with a cold, so I'm a little froggy today still. The first one is Nothing But Double. It is a make-along I've been doing all year with my friend Lori of Arkansas Yarn Co. We are making, you can make any size blanket, knit or crochet. You just have to be holding yarn double. Also, the Stripe Along 2023 started in October. It goes to the end of this calendar year also. I am co-hosting it with Kimbers Cozy Creation, Jessalyn, Janice, and Happy Little Yarn. And we're each hosting the make-along on a different place. I am hosting it on my Ravelry group, where you can participate in the chat, where I'm pulling one winner a month. And then the grand prize will be also from my Ravelry group in the FOs. Otherwise, you can participate on Kimbers' Discord, Amy's Facebook group, or Jessalyn's Instagram using the hashtag, and I have all of those links below. Really sorry about the cold. So, let's get into the podcast. This is episode 50. That's exciting. The beginning of next month, I will actually be my 2-year anniversary of podcasting, which is crazy. So super excited about that. I was hosting 2 giveaways the last episode. So I guess before we start too, I'm going to mention the winners. I did, sick brain. You're going to have to bear with me all today. I did do a comment picker, 2 of them from last podcast. The first one is the winner of this cotton yarn. And I actually found one more brown skein. So it is 7 skeins of yarn. 50 gram skeins of Plymouth Cleo, 100% mercerized Pima cotton. And the winner of this actually is Jessalyn Janice, who is funny. We're co-hosting the Stripe Along. So congratulations, Jessalyn. I already have your address because all of us involved with the make-along have each other's addresses. And so I am going to pop this in the mail for you, and maybe you can still make something stripy for the make-along with it. And then the second giveaway is basically my thrown together kit for this, which is my pattern, the Infinite Happiness Cowl, pattern by me, which comes out Monday, November 14th. And in here, I'm going to just keep it in this yarn crawl bag. In here, I have purchased for the winner 1 skein of Yummy Plush Wedding Cake from Arkansas Yarn Co. That is what I used for my main color held throughout. And then all the rest of my minis. Keep in mind that it may not be enough to exactly do this, that there were sections where I used more of the mini color. But, and a copy of my new pattern will be included in that also. So the winner of that is Alicia. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but I'll put it on the screen. Congratulations, Alicia. Contact me by email at AlwaysYarnFirst@gmail.com, and I will get that package out to you. All right, so now let's get into the podcast. And episode 50, today is Saturday, November 11th. And if you are new here, welcome. I hope you will stick around and enjoy the community. I name every episode of my podcast after a song because before my love of yarn was my love of music. And I love most genres of music. So today I have named the episode One Thing Right. And that is a song by Marshmello and Kane Brown. And I have linked below to my Spotify playlist, which has all of my songs from all of my episodes. So I hope you will follow that if you're interested in music. All right, so this week, what do we have going on? We have a finished object, new cast-ons, whips, acquisitions, no future makes section really, but then we do have the goals. So how I did in October with my goals, what are my goals for November? And then like a little bonus thing, I want to talk about a book I found at my local library. So as always, I will have each thing timestamped below if you want to move around through different things, so you can do that. All right, so let's start with what I am wearing. This one I haven't worn for actually quite a while. Let's see if you can see this a little better. This is the Boxy Chevron. This is by Suzanne Summer. And this was the make-along we did for the Arkansas Yarn Crawl. Every year, Lori at Arkansas Yarn Co. that we pick out a sweater or top to make for the yarn crawl, and then every Saturday, if you've made that, we all wear that and post pictures of it online. So this was a couple years ago. This was a really interesting, I wouldn't say it was hard, but doing the sleeve part, it was different for me and a little challenging. So it was a fun knit. I do really enjoy this top. This is in fingering weight, but I won't go over all the details since this is an old make, but I do have linked below to my Ravelry project page with any information you may have questions about. All right, so let's get into finished objects. I have one, and much like last time, I'm pretty sure, this is a new cast on and finished object, and it is another Flux Cowl by Devin Ventre of Knitty McPurly. I'm telling you, I love this. Last time you saw me with like the fuchsia colored one, and I made for my friend Lori. I made hers first, and I wore it, and I love it. It is literally like a cloud. It's so light, you don't like feel it on you. But because it is a DK weight Surrey silk, it is warm. It will definitely be good with these breezy autumn days. So I'm using Knitty McPurly's yarn, and it's her pattern. This is the Dresden DK in the colorway Dusty. And I have been in love with this yarn so much. I've been talking to Lori about it because, of course, she is my BFF and my local yarn shop. And she can get this base where she gets her yarn to dye from. So if you are interested in this and you are local Arkansas, she is going to be getting this base. It's not available right this second, but I told her I would like to make like a short sleeve top in this yarn. I love it so, so much. And now I'm going to have Surrey in my mouth because I just rubbed it all over my face. I love this. This is a great quick knit project for those that are knit worthy in your life. This feels luxurious, but it's so easy and so quick to make. So I want to make a ton of these. Love, love, love this. So that was a new cast on, new finished object, and that's the only finished object that I have this week. So I do have one other cast on, and it's a half finished object. I'm kind of going to go into general whips also because it's related. Not that one, not that bag. This one. This is a little bag that Lori gave me last year when I wasn't feeling good. She sent this little cute bag over to me with some yarn as a get well gift. And you all know that I was making a design pattern for a sock. So I'm going to, like I said, float back and forth. So this is where I was on the whip I was making. It is for a sock, but I was so anxious to see if the pattern worked, and the patterning was just going to go, it was going to be toe up socks, and it was going to be from the heel up, and I didn't want to waste time. I just wanted to see if the pattern worked because I was lazy. So I provisionally cast on and just started doing the pattern. And it's great. I love it. But I think I wanted to kind of outstretch this patterning a little further to the edge. So I stopped on that. And I cast on my sock. So I'm going to put it on a sock blocker, but then I'm going to take it off so you can actually see the patterning because it's up the back. And keep in mind, I have not blocked this yet, so it is lace, which means it's going to look better after blocked. But this is a toe-up sock, and I used a yarn in my stash. This is Legacy Fiber Artz, their Cozy Toes base in the colorway Guac. And then I just used a little bit of wedding cake. I had, obviously, bits in my stash that I just did. A little bit of ribbing on the top because I felt like the sock was so tall, it didn't really need that much. So you can't really see the patterning a little bit. It's going to look so much better after blocking. But here it is. So I will move it so you can see. There is no pattern in the front of the sock. My idea with this sock is that right now, a lot of people have little cute like boot shoes that they wear. And to have a cute, long, tall sock with this lace pattern work up the back would be so cute. So you can see I kind of extended those, the patterning out, not quite to the edge, but almost. And I am super, super happy with it. Super easy patterning. I didn't have to look at the pattern. And then I did 5 repeats for myself. And then I did 5 rounds of ribbing. Again, I felt like there was enough stuff here. I didn't feel like it needed a lot of ribbing. And I thought this kind of made it decorative to kind of go along with this. So, are you ready for the name? Again, I'm a music lover, all kinds. So, this is kind of like a fern pattern. And so these will be called Boots with the Fern. Just a little play on song title, or song lyrics, I should say. But I think it's funny. I am so happy with these. This is my second ever toe-up sock. The other one you'll see in whips is what I'm using Kimbers yarn, which I was originally going to do this patterning with the self-striping, but I didn't think it would play as nicely, so I didn't do that one. This sock is so comfortable that even though toe-up doesn't feel, I don't know if I want to use the word normal to me, but it's not my usual thing. I will say, as comfortable as this sock is, I may be converted to a toe-up girl because this is amazingly soft. And maybe it's just the yarn. I don't know. But I'm curious now if it's the toe-up or something else. So this sock, I need testers for. So the sock I did is a 64 stitch around. So this will, patterning will be available in the 3, what I consider standard socks sizes. A 52 stitch, a 64 stitch, and a 72 stitch. So I probably need like another week or so to get my notes together and a chart on my notes. But if you are interested in knitting a toe-up sock, I think that I know December right now is a busy month. December's a busy month, but I only need 1 sock completed, basically to know that it fits your foot right, and you understood the chart and so on and so forth. So I think I'm going to give everybody till the end of the year and not worry about releasing it till next year. But I did this sock in 3 days, and I've been sick. So once I got past the foot, the patterning was so much fun to me that I flew through it in a day. So yeah, if you were interested in knitting a toe-up sock pattern, please email me at AlwaysYarnFirst@gmail.com and tell me which stitch count you'd be willing to do, because I need a few in each size. That would be great. And you can use, any skein of fingering weight from your stash. No need to get something special. So I'm super excited about these. And I thank you in advance. And just to let you know, again, I need like at least another week, but I thought I would put the testing call out there so that basically gets me in gear to finish up my notes and hopefully get this out to test knitters. And then I will be on my way to my 3rd pattern, y'all. Like, who am I even? So that one, super exciting. And I will be knitting, of course, the 2nd sock along with the testers while everyone's doing it. All right. So that is my only other cast on. So let's get into whips. All right, so we're going to go back to this one since I already kind of brought it out. So like I said, this was kind of like the scale for my first one. And I have like a little, knitting group of friends that I'm on a chat with. And when I was so excited about this, I had shown them and I'm like, oh, I love this. What do you guys think? I said, I know it's kind of with the variegated, it's a little hard to see. And my friend Christy was like, oh, these need to be fingerless mitts. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I was just like doing this. After she said that, I was like, well, it kind of fits me as a fingerless mitt right now. If I start right now making the thumb gusset, I could turn this, because I provisionally cast on, I could turn this into fingerless mitts. So this may turn into the second part of that pattern. But I have made fingerless mitts before, but socks, I always know the sizes. Like, yes, these are the 3 sizes. I've made one size for me, one size for my husband. I know that those work. I'm less familiar with stitches for fingerless mitts, so this will take a little bit more time. But this might be, where my design head goes to next, is finishing these. And can I make this already started into a fingerless mitts? So this is 64 stitches right now. If you do longer ones where this kind of goes down, like I said, pretty sure I could start the thumb gusset right now. And this just finish out the patterning up the fingers. So, and this yarn is, let's see, Teenybutton Studio in the soft sock, and it is called Liar Liar Plants on Fire. So that is that one. Okay, so I have obviously been in a sock frame of mind. I don't know, like a few years ago, I was all about socks, and I was doing the Desert Vista Dyeworks year-long sock make-along, where you have to use her yarn and make a pair of socks every month. I did that a couple years ago, and I had fun. I successfully did it. And then the next year, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of socks out. And so it was all about garments, which I still am into. But lately, I've have gone back to socks. Like, I'm craving working on socks. And then Susan of Desert Vista Dyeworks had mentioned that the next year is going to be the last year that she hosts the Desert Vista Dyeworks make-along. And it is a great make-along because if you do it, it's like every quarter you get incentive. I think the first quarter, it might have changed this last year, so don't quote me on it. the first quarter, you get a percentage off if you order, where I think if I ordered 3 skeins of yarn at the end of the first quarter, one of them was free, essentially. And then at 6 months, you get a free skein of yarn. And then again, the discount at 9 months. And at the end of the year, she dyes a special yarn just for the people that have knit a pair of socks all year long and made it to the end, that she doesn't sell in her shop. You only get it if you finish the make-along, and you get that free. And I think I still have that. The year I did it, it was a sock blank. The thing with her yarn is the way she does her business is everything on her website is pre-order. She does it per order, but she's always a little backed up. So if you're thinking that this may sound good to you, that you want to join in this make-along, you need to make sure to order yarn ASAP right now. Unless you can find it from like a D-stash from somebody, that might be a best bet. But it takes a while to get her yarn. So you need to make sure you have yarn ahead of time. So I ordered a couple of skeins of yarn so that I can do that make-along next year. Anyway, so a little off track, but sock talk. All right, so this is the sock I had started when I thought I was going to start my pattern. So we're kind of like going backwards in the process here. This is a colorway that Kimber dyed for our Stripe Along 2023. This colorway is My Fall Valentine. Love it. And I had originally started this, again, toe up. And I thought I was going to do my patterning, but I didn't know if it would play nice with the stripes. It probably would be okay. It actually probably would be better than the variegated. But I was questioning it, so then I decided to just knit a tube. So I cast on. This is from Stash. This is a Hey Sister Yarn Co. colorway. And then I knit with her colorway, and I just made a big old tube. Finished out with ribbing. And then just yesterday, finally, I decided to cut my heel. I actually took my daughter to a job interview, and I waited in the car. And so I cut my heel and did it while I was waiting. I think that pink looks so good with the rest of these colors. So yeah, these are just vanilla socks, no pattern. I did toe up. I did, for my afterthought heel, I do a 4-3-2-1. Because how I learned to do toes was 3-2-1. I took was it a class? And somebody, I don't even remember who, but the way I learned to do toes was they're like the easiest way is to, once you start, when you're like 2 inches away, then you do a decrease row, and then you knit 3 rows, decrease row, knit 2 rows, decrease row, knit 1 row, and then decrease every row until you have 10 stitches each, Kitchener. So I do essentially that same thing for my heel when I pick up the stitches, except I found when I did that, I didn't have as much room. So I do a 4-3-2-1. So I add in that extra 4 rows of knitting. So I decrease, knit 4 rows, decrease, knit 3, decrease, knit 2, decrease, knit 1, decrease every row, till 10 on each, and Kitchener up. And that's what it looks like. So yeah, I'm happy with this. I love this color so much. So I have not started on the second one yet, but again, this is toe up. The toe up isn't hard. In fact, I feel like the Turkish cast on is almost like a magic trick because you're just wrapping yarn around both needles half as many times, basically as many times as you need stitches on each needle. And then you just knit through them on each side. It's amazing. Like, I can't believe it turns into a toe. For a while there, I'm knitting and I'm like, this doesn't seem right. And maybe that's why I didn't like it for a long time. But now I think it's kind of magical. Yeah. So, again, not hard, but I feel like I didn't want to do that in the car. Like, I wanted to do that at home, at least the cast on, and be started before I worked on that. All right. So let's get out of Sockland for a minute. What else have I been working on? All right, so I have been working on my Pure Joy. It is in one of my woolly bean bags. Juanita. She currently doesn't have a shop, but she said to link her Instagram. And if there's ever something you're interested in, she is willing to make it. She's just kind of full-time homeschooling her kids right now, so she isn't doing her sewing full-time. Oh my goodness, yarn. What's happening? Just take that off. All right, so I feel like I made pretty good progress. I'm still on the same wedge. So last time I showed this here, you can see my stitch marker. I was starting this wedge, and it is short rows back and forth. So starting this wedge over here, so it's thicker on this end. You can see where my short rows is. It's pretty much right here. So I have a few more short rows, and then I will be finished with this wedge. And then for the last wedge, I will do strictly this color. So I am trying to get this done for this month. I'll talk about more goals, but I have made some progress. This is another kind of mindless knit. As long as you're comfortable with short rows, and you read your knitting, you don't have to think about this at all while you're knitting. Just perfect TV watching. The colors I am using for this, you can see I've used the most of this one. This is Teenybutton Studio in the colorway Island Getaway. And this one is Homestead Fibers in the colorway Paul. So it's just one skein of each. So 2 skeins works really great with a variegated and a solid that you can see. All right, the next two I should say I have. This is in my bag from, let's see, Puff Stitch Bag Co. I always look for it on here. Oh, it's just right here. Puff Stitch Bag Co. Love this bag. I say it every time, but it's so stinking pretty. So this houses 2 projects, and both of them are my projects that I'm using with my Gritty Knits All Year Advent. I get every month 2 mini skeins, and they work together in a row, and so I am caught up. I did show this one last time because I had started it. So this is the Litmus Cowl by Stranded Dyeworks. And okay, so you can see I have all my gritty knits. So my last month colorway, October, was this one here and this one here. And then the color I'm using with it is right here. It is Knit Picks Gloss Fingering, just in black. Yeah, so this is, of course, just knitting around, and it'll eventually be a cowl, pretty much exactly like what I had going on for my design. Yeah, easy knitting, literally just knit stitches and changing colors. And I did work on it last time, so I'll move my waffle up. So I am ready to go when I get next month, which should actually be soon. Usually she ships it on the 13th of the month. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one, you hadn't seen since last month. This is the Anesidora Shawl by Lindsey Fowler. I have not tied my fringe together and made them all nice and even on the side. I love this one. So you see one project I'm using black with, one I'm using white with. So here's the end. You can see the colors. And I did talk about this last time. So I've been using, first of all, Natasha of Gritty Knits kindly gifted me an extra mini skein. So the first month I had 3 colors. So color 0 that just her and I have is this one. I just did 3 because it was so little. Every other one I do 2 strips of colors per month. So it's color 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I mentioned how last time color 5 and color 4 are very similar. So, you know, just looking at like this, it may look like I did 4 rows of the same color. These are actually 2 colors. This was last month, or 2 months ago, I should say. This was October, along with this one. I love this one. You just cut the fringe, everyone. Like I said, I need to go through and knot them, secure them, and then clean up the ends. They're kind of a mess, but it's really fun, and it doesn't take very long to do this at all. So, and then the white I'm using is, of course, my favorite, which is Lori, Arkansas Yarn Co. Wedding Cake, Yummy Plush. Obviously, my go-to. I've mentioned it how many times now in this episode. So yes, that is in my bag. Pretty much then I do these 2 projects once I get my minis, and then I put it in a cubby, not on my cart, because I don't touch it till the next month. All right, I have one more whip. It is in my giant, glorious Tanny Casey bag. I feel like this is my favorite sweater bag. And this is my Lace and Fade Boxy. If you've been here for a while, you know that this has been on my Make 9 list of things I wanted to finish that I had on my needles from last year. I had ran into a problem with my lace not matching up, and it sat in a timeout corner for months and months and months. I had picked it up. I had done that lace. Let me see. Where is... Okay. Stitch marker here. Trying to hold it upright. Can you see where I was last time? See the little lemon stitch marker down there? So I was in the middle of the stockinette section. So the lace section above my stitch marker is where I had to re-pick it up at the beginning, redo that lace. That was correct. I did the next stockinette section, and if you can tell, I have done the last lace section. I finished it. So I am done with the lace. I am on the last section of the stockinette. And then it will be ribbing. So this is more of a cropped shirt, and I'm okay with it because, first of all, with this lace, I have to wear an undershirt anyway. I probably usually wear something like this where it's like flowy at the bottom. That's kind of my go-to. And here's what I have left of my yarn. Now, I don't know if I weighed it. It's, you know, a decent amount, but knowing that I haven't started sleeves. Now, I haven't looked at the pattern for sure, but I feel like either you pick up and just do an edging on this. It isn't like a bunch of ribbing. So I need to look at that. There's like barely any yarn for that. And I actually have this little bit, what was left of a yarn last time I did a lace section. I feel like that could literally be enough for this if needed. And just from the picture, let's see if I can show a picture without giving the pattern away. Just from the picture of the last section of stockinette, you can see here the sizing of the stockinette is the same in the last section, but half of it is ribbing. So I've been kind of doing 20 rounds of stockinette. So I'm kind of thinking that means I'm going to do 10 rounds of stockinette and then do 10 rounds of ribbing to finish up. So that's what I'm thinking. And then, of course, the sleeves, if you, let's see. Okay. So you can see this already comes down my arm quite a bit. And there's not a lot of sleeve, really. So I might kind of do them in tandem when I start the sleeves, just because The yarn I'm using is Junk Yarn Boss Sock in the colorway Astronaut Barbie. I did go on and look if she had any on her website. I know I had bought it through Skein Yarn Shop before when they had a trunk show of hers. And she doesn't really have many colors available right now. I don't know if that's because, Christmas season, everyone's been busy with other projects. So if worse comes to worse, I'll email her to see if I need to get another skein. But I also don't want to overreact. I'm not playing super yarn chicken right now. I'm going to kind of wait till I get through the body and see what I have. And honestly, then maybe just shorten the sleeves up even smaller, because that doesn't bother me at all. I like short sleeves. So, and then the lace that I'm using in here was Cake Wool Cream in the colorway Smooch. So I'm super excited the thought of getting done with this project. But I am glad the lace is done. So that's it of my whips. I do have the teeniest, tiniest bit of spinning. I will show you quick. This is from A Gritty Knits when I was getting her mystery monthly back club, which I hope to someday get back to. But I just have so much fiber, and along with, of course, so much yarn, I'm like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. So these are plied. These are done. They're not washed. This one I may have shown before because I had plied this one a while ago. I just had to finish plying. And so this morning I actually plied the rest of it. And I don't know, again, I know I'm blaming sick brain a lot of it. And that I haven't spun in a while because I don't know that anyone else has this problem. But when I don't spin regularly enough, I lose it. I mean, I can do it, but it does not look as good. This is very much overspun. I'm not really happy with this. This looks lovely, and I'm super happy with. This I'm not happy with. It's fine. I am still learning as a spinner, and honestly, I haven't really knit with much of my spinning. I want to do a night shift or something like that. I'm getting enough hand spun skeins together that I do want to make something. And I'm thinking like an Andrea Mowry night shift, one of those would be perfect. But I'm almost wondering if I should play with these ones, especially this one, with weaving, because hand spun yarn that isn't perfect, that you're not super satisfied with, looks really great in weaving. I don't have a big weaving table or floor loom or anything like that. I just have one of those like 64-inch square weaving looms that's like upright that you can play with. And I think that'd be fun. I really love the coloring of this yarn, so it makes me super sad that it isn't exactly what I wanted from it. But again, I can only blame myself for that. So that is what it is. All right, so let's get into acquisitions. And there is quite a few of them. So mostly from just, well, 2 places plus an Advent thing has come in. So I'll talk about the Advent thing first. Let me make sure I'm not. So for the first year ever, I have gotten the Woolens and Nosh Advent Skein. It comes with a couple of goodies. And then I'm not going to take it out of the bag, but this black bag that's in is buttoned at the top. It's already pre-wound into 2 50-gram balls, perfectly matched. And the yarn is hanging out here to start with. It gives you a mini skein. You can kind of see it's a light gray. It also gives you a sock pattern. That's why I'm not turning it around, because there is a Ravelry code for that. And you could start with your cuffs or toes with this mini skein. And then day one, you can start working with the yarns one color at a time if you don't want to peek and want it to be a surprise. I peeked because I love spoilers. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't even looked up the sock pattern that it came with, but I will be doing little tiny vlogmases on Instagram. I'll probably do what I did last year, which is I don't celebrate the holidays, so I don't have any special events going on. So I don't really film all day things, but I kind of like to film, especially opening my Advent things, and then just you follow my making on those things to see how much I can get done, with maybe little snippets if I do anything interesting, which I usually don't. I am a homebody. So yeah, I have never gotten a sock Advent, so I'm super excited about this one. All right. And the thing I got was, after all of my cowls I made, I had ordered 2 more skeins. I only have one to show here. The other one I had ordered for my daughter was a color she liked. I will put in a picture here. It is called Frost is the color she got. It's kind of like a seafoam green. And then this is the other one I got, Thistle. Y'all know I'm not a huge purple fan, except I do like light lilac purple. So I do like this purple. Whether this will be for me or for a gift, I don't know, but I probably will literally make another cowl. And then when Lori gets the space in her shop, I'm kind of eyeing patterns I could make. Because of the stitch, I'm going to be looking at very simple patterns, because this is going to be what you're focused on, the texture and feel of this. Not so much complicated stitches, because I think that would be hard in this. But, so yeah, I got a skein for me in that. That's from Knitty McPurly. And then I had gone to Arkansas Yarn Co. And I go there a few times a month. And a lot of times I know I need to be good and just be like, don't look around. I need to not spend money. Like, don't go crazy. And then there's the last time I went, which I'm like, yeah, I'm getting this. So, what did I get? I feel like I got, oh, I did get more. Okay. So to be fair, a couple of things I had bought before I even went there. A while back, if you have the Arkansas Yarn Co. app, you will get notified sometimes on deals that otherwise you will not know about. And they had a special on Noro Sonata. And I had been eyeing, and I've talked about making the Lotta dress by Marie Green. And so that was the yarn I was going to use for that. So when it came on sale, I'm like, okay, now's the time. I'm going to get it. So I bought 5 skeins of that, maybe. And I'm going to put in a picture here. It's still all wrapped together. I have it in my cabinet of ready-to-go projects that I keep. It's like a light gray, but when you look at it, it's really cool. It kind of has like a light purple, bluish tone to it. So it's real interesting. It's not just gray. I think it'll be really pretty. It's in the colorway Pebble. So I had already purchased that, and that was sitting at the yarn shop waiting for me. And then I had heard that Arkansas Yarn Co. was doing they're one of the dyers connected with Sarah Shira's Snow Matter What gnome kit. Now, I have bought gnome kits before from Lori and not used them for that, basically just mini kits. And I decided I wanted to try it this year. So I got this kit, and I got it in the sparkle base. So this is the Ice Ice Baby kit. And the colors are Silent Service, Wedding Cake, Push Pop, Ice Ice Baby. And then to go along with that, I don't have it here, but again, I'll put in a picture. I also picked up the Chow Goo Twist Shorty set. This is one thing that I had been eyeing for quite a long time, but I'm like, oh, I have so many needles. And Lori basically said when she makes these small items, that's what she uses them for. I'm like, okay, I'm going to trust you on that. So excited about that. Then I bought two. So really, like, I kind of like don't count all those. I mean, they're going to count in my stash, whatever. But like I'd already, you know, for the dress, this is, I know what I'm going to make. This starts December 1st. And there was two skeins of yarn I bought that I just want them. I just want them. So they have a good amount of Night Owl fibers, self-striping yarn. And I look at them every time I'm there. You can tell I'm a regular enough now where I actually, my eyes go to and I'm like, wait, this wasn't here before, even though it might be 2 weeks since I've been there. And so I saw this out of the corner of my eye and I said, please tell me I have not walked by this yarn every time. And Lori said, no, we just got that color in with some other ones. And there was only 2 skeins of these. And so sometimes, you know, when it's a bunch, I'll be like, oh, I have so much self-striping yarn. I don't need it right now. I need to make some socks. But these bright colors, if you know my aesthetic, this is totally my jam. And I love that some of the stripes obviously have speckles in them. I love that so much. And so it made me happy that I'm like, okay, I didn't just pass over this because my eyes couldn't stop looking at it. There was 2 left and I'm like, nope, one's going home with me. And so this colorway is Mambo Remix. And her base is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 437 yards per 100 grams. So this will go in my sock stash. But again, I have just been craving socks all the time lately, so I'm not worried about it. And there's quite a few friends that I have not knit socks for, so that's going to be my go-to. And I have rediscovered my love of wearing knitted socks. I feel like last year I didn't even really wear them. My daughter wears hers a lot. We have like the same size feet. But this year, like especially the last week with being sick, I have worn hand knit socks every day and I've loved it. All right. So there's one more thing. I think this has been there for a while. It was on a bottom shelf and my eye just like darted to it. And I kind of laughed when I looked at it and I'm like, what would I even make with that? Like, it's just so out there in your face. And I'm like, I don't know, but I just feel like I need it. And here it is. It is Suburban Stitcher, her Surrey silk base. So 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 26% silk, 328 yards for 50 grams. And it is, of course, called Highlighter. And I have no clue what this will be, but it is so fantastic that I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. I don't know. It'll go in a hat. I don't know. I have no clue, but I just love it. So that is everything I purchased. Yes. I do still have one more Advent thing I had bought, and it's going to be here Monday. I bought a fiber Advent, which I'm super excited about. Last year when I was watching a few, I don't watch a lot of Vlogmas because I feel like it's so much. Try to keep up with people. I think I picked a couple and watched that, but one of them was Tazi Starlight. I will put it on the screen because I'm messing it up again. But she was doing a spinning fiber Advent, and I'm like, wait, there's fiber Advents? And so I knew this year I had to find one. And I kind of had a hard time. I didn't really see them on my feed. Maybe I'm not following the right people, although Instagram is weird again, that you are definitely not seeing everything of people you follow. I kind of tend to hate it more than ever. But I found one from Fiber Nymph, and they have yarn too. And they had a Lord of the Rings fiber Advent. I can't remember. I think it's like an ounce a day, and it all goes together. And I like Lord of the Rings. My girl loves Lord of the Rings. but I'm not like a super fan. But I knew that I liked the sound of that because I thought, okay, it's all going to be like, to me in my mind, it's all going to be like earthy tones, you know, creams and greens and, you know, stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's going to look really, really pretty. So I am super excited. I did not buy a traditional yarn skein, mini skein advent this year. So yeah, I just have my sock one, and then I have my fiber one, and then of course I'm going to be making this in December. So yeah, there will be things to work on. So I'm excited about that one. It's going to take everything not to peek at that one when it comes Monday so that I can truly actually open it when I record. Yeah, so that is all of my stuff. All right, so I do want to share one kind of miscellaneous thing. Yesterday, I went to the library, stopped in briefly to my local library with my daughter, and they actually had like a little highlight table of like knitting and crochet stuff, which is cool. And I haven't gone to the library in a while because I constantly was looking in like the craft section, and I felt like it was the same couple of books, which was real disappointing. Some, you know, all the good ones, the new ones, I already owned, so I didn't care about. But I saw this one, and I have never heard of it. And I, you know, obviously right now I'm just getting into designing, and I thought, wow, this could be like a really, really great tool. So I just thought I would share it here. Of course, I just got it. I haven't looked into it, but I will tell you like some of the chapters it has here. I just kind of, you know, foundations, components of a pattern, understanding gauge, charts, sizing, common sweater pitfalls, and working with a tech editor. So I think this will be a great read for me. And if it's really worthwhile, then I'll probably purchase it. On the back, it says this is $20 US. So, yeah. So if you other budding designers out there, this might be a good one. Or, you know, look at your local library to see if they have this. So I'm really excited to read this, and I thought I'd share it here. All right. We have one more section, and it is goals. So I'm going to quickly get through this. All right. October goals. I had 3 making goals for October. Was finish my Advent cowl, I was calling it, which is this, which I did. Finish my fall Valentine, which was the Kimbers sock. I technically didn't finish it. I finished everything but the heel. But now that I did that yesterday, I have crossed that off. And finished my test shawl, which was this one from Nicole, Prof Pearl. And that is the Comfort Zone shawl. And I did get that done on time also. As far as my yarn goal. So I had said, last time we talked about goals, I said, okay, for me to like not have more yarn in than out, I can't buy any more yarn than well, obviously that hasn't happened. That goal's gone out the door, and I'm okay with it. I'm not worried about it. So for October, I had 5 skeins come in, which is my year total of 163 skeins come in. I had 8 go out, so I did have more out than in last month. But that was a total of 132 skeins out the door. So it is what it is. I'm not hyper focused on it. I think it's always a good goal for me to end off about the same place in and out, because I don't have the space in my house for so much yarn that it just takes over. But I'm okay with it. All right, so for my November goals, I've actually already completed 2 of the goals I had put. I mean, it is November 11th here, so that's, you know, we're almost halfway through the month already. I wanted to finish my Flux, which I had cast on and finished, and I wanted to finish my design sock, one of them, because once I finish the one, I'm now working on doing the patterning, and then, like I said, trying to get the testers up, and then I will finish my second one with the testers. So those 2 things already done. The other 2 goals is to finish my Pure Joy. I started that one for the Ho-He Fall Knit Along, and that ends the end of this month. So I really would like to get that done. That's going to be my one non-design thing that I'm really focused on. And then the other thing is to get my test knits up and running before the end of the month. I have never made a call for test knits. I have not done a test knit for this one. And my first shawl, I just had someone I know test knit for me before the retreat. So this is my first time doing a test knit. So if you apply to be a test knitter, please be patient with me. This is very new to me. I will be learning along with you. So I want to get that up and running so that I can have really good communication and kind of like, I've been a test knitter, but I've never asked for test knitters. So it's very new to me. So yeah, those are my goals for the month. So I'm on track to finishing those. And that's all I have for this week. So thanks for hanging in there with my froggy voice. Remember that if you want a prize, please contact me, AlwaysYarnFirst@gmail.com. Also, if you'd like to test knit, please also email me. Tell me which stitch count you're interested in test knitting for. Once I get the test knit up, you will have through the end of the year to finish one sock. So I really, really appreciate you all being here. I hope everyone's doing well and staying healthy as can be with all the weather change. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.